Hey guys, this is Chris from Phase Fun Creations. It's part 2. I'll add the reveal at the end of this video. So I am working with the same resin from the previous video, which is the Takimo epoxy resin. It's a 1-to-1. I'm doing 3/4 A, 3/4 B, and I'm hoping that I have 2 different resins in here because I poured some yesterday and then I left, like I poured 1 part yesterday, not both, and I left it sit, and now I'm praying that it turns out. So there's like, can't even tell that they're 2 different resins. So while I mix this up, I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, so after doing a little experiment, I figured out that I did not use 2 different resins. So I am now using roughly 4 cups, 2 cups part A, 2 cups part B, and lesson learned. If I have to leave one of them overnight with a cover on it, put a piece of paper down and remind yourself what it is. Alright, so I'm going to have a couple minutes that I really need to stir this up. I put it in for 6 because it's so much. I'm not going to have you all sit through 6 minutes, so I'll be back. Okay guys, we have stirred for about 6 minutes. Because it was a lot of resin, obviously. So, there's been a little bit of a change in plan as to how I'm going to proceed with this. I've got this really cool, it's a glow-in-the-dark paste, but it's really pretty yellow. So I'm going to give this a quick stir, and I'm going to put half of, well, a third, a fourth, whatever you want to call it, of my resin into my 1 cup bowl here in just a minute, and then I want to use some of this yellow paste in my 8-ounce cup, mixing cup. I thought, my thought process is that a glow-in-the-dark tray, cutting board, whatever, would be kind of cool. And it's a really pretty color. It's also very spring-like. So I really want to add a good bit of that to my other cup. I'll set that off the side in case I want to add more. So we're going to put a good bit into, it's a 250 ml cup or 8 ounces. So let's take that and put that over here. And we're going to fill it up. Fill it up to the 1 cup mark to start. Whoops, I'm making a mess. Y'all know me. That's the story of my life on resin. Alright, so I want to give that a quick stir after I wipe off my glove a little bit. And I might actually add a little bit more paste to that. That may not be enough for my taste. So we're just going to mix that in really, really good. Yeah, I'm going to add some more. That's not very much. Scrape off the stick. And I'm going to grab a good bit off out of my container here. Now, my craft room is probably 70 some odd degrees in here, so this should cure up fairly fast today, and hopefully I can attach my unmolding here in just a few hours. use some glow-in-the-dark powder too. I don't know. That's still pretty translucent. I'll have to get some more glow-in-the-dark paste. Alright, so just clean my stick off one more time. And I'm going to have to order some more of this stuff. We're just going to use a bunch of it on this one. Alright, so find my lid, cover it back up. Because I want to get this done before the other 3 cups starts to flash cure on me. So even though I've made a whole lot of resin today, I actually have another project that I want to work on. And I will show that to you here in just a minute. Like I said, I want to get all the stirred in real good. And we will use a little bit of the yellow glow-in-the-dark powder, which I got off Amazon a while back. Just to help it get a little bit more of a kick to it. And okay, we're going to stick with that. We're just going to keep it simple today. So that's about as much the glow-in-the-dark powder as I used. So we'll try and get that mixed in really, really well, because it has a tendency not to blend sometimes. But that's alright. It'll be okay. Trying to keep an eye on the temperature of this other container. Just to make sure it doesn't start getting hot too fast. You just continue to stir, making sure there shouldn't be any huge clumps of the glow-in-the-dark powder. Alright, clean that off again. Now, I'm just going to pour the yellow on top of our cutting board. You'll probably hear my dog barking in the background. He's mad because he's downstairs. So we will do a little bit of that. And if this isn't enough, I have plenty more resin that I can mix up and put in here. Put some color in and kind of mix it up and dump it in here. And it's not going to be enough. Okay. No big deal. We got plenty. Alright, so we just need to add some more glow in the dark. To the cup. And I actually expected this to not have enough resin. That's why I made extra this time. But for the moment, we'll help guide some of that around like we did the first time on part 1. We shouldn't need, might need one more cup. Alright, so clean that off. We'll grab our yellow powder. Coat the bottom of the 8-ounce cup really good. Put that over there. Get our glow in the dark. Give that another real quick stir. I think this is going to turn out really, really cool, guys. At least I'm hoping. Alright, grab another big stick full of that. Now I've only used this like maybe twice, so right. Move my cup back. I'm really hoping this turns out super good, because if not, I'm really, really going to cry. Alright. That might leave me enough for the next project. Maybe. Alright. So, you can see the yellow powder with the orange glow-in-the-dark paste. I had to think about what I was trying to say there for a second. And we're just going to pour the rest of this right on top of that. Drop me a comment in the section below, guys, and leave suggestions or ideas that you might have, that you might want to see. I've said that on a couple of my videos, and I'm really interested to see what your thoughts are on what you might want to see done. I have more tray molds, different types. I've got 2 that have thumb holes in them that I can do. I probably have 4 or 5 different trays, maybe a couple more. All right, pour that in. And just kind of, oops, this might actually be a little too much. So we're just going to let that set for a minute. And figure out what it wants to do. I'm going to spritz it with a little bit of alcohol. Oh, missed a spot. Not quite domed. It is in the center, but we'll see how that works out here in a minute. I'm hoping it levels out a little bit more. So I'll scooch some a little bit this way and a little bit that way. Just kind of try and even this out a little bit more. Help it hopefully get into those corners a little better. Alright, well that's all I can put into that. I had a feeling that was going to be a little much, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do with this, even though it's got glow-in-the-dark pigment in it, bear with me for just a minute. Grab my tripod, move you guys over. And this is a huge piece that I want to try. There we go. Here's my hand in the center. So it's probably 18 to 24 inches in diameter. So since I've got roughly 2 cups of resin left in that container, and we're going to spray the inside of that with some alcohol. I'm going to add, what do I want to add to that? I'm going to top that off, I think, with, even though it's glow in the dark, I would like to use my yellow mica powder in there. And I'm going to do a perimeter around the outside of that with the yellow, and then I'm just going to fill the middle of it up with the clear. Oops. I just made a mess with the mica powder. Good grief. Right, put that away. But I missed the tray I'm working on, so I'm happy with that. All right. I'm going to add a little bit more, oops, of the clear. And give me a little bit more for the outer edge. I lost the baby wipe. It was over. Oh, I'll throw it away. Never mind. Okay. So, we've got our mica and our glow-in-the-dark. Oops. Oh, that's going to be really pretty. It's nice, like a gold now, between the three of them. I don't know if this is going to glow in the dark when it's done, but I don't care. Okay, so this is actually a table mold. And I just got the legs and the screws and everything in the mail the other day so that I can actually do this. This will be my first ever table, so you guys have front row seats to it. Hopefully it turns out the way it looks like in my mind. Okay. And if the edges glow a little bit, because this is going to be pretty thin around the outside edge. But, alright, so we're just going to do the perimeter. And I'm not going for perfection. Just want to make sure we get it all the way around. Alright. That was actually perfect. I was hoping it would go around at least once. So we'll get the rest of our yellow out of there. Yellow, gold, whatever you want to call it. It's really pretty whenever it is. And we will pour that on the most narrow side. All right, now give my cup a good spray with some alcohol. Maybe I can clean it here in a minute. Man, I think that tray is really going to be pretty, guys. It actually leveled out very well. All right. And now we're just going to top this off with the rest of my clear. And just kind of let it do whatever it wants to do. And it's not a lot of resin in regards to the size of this particular mold. But I'm really hoping that it turns out and that it actually cures the right way. Thank you all for being so patient. I know when somebody doesn't talk, it gets a little annoying. But I don't know about y'all, but I have an issue with concentrating and talking all at the same time. My brain just doesn't want to do what I want it to do. Get as much of the resin out of there as possible. I'm kind of glad that it's not real thick because I can't remember if this is supposed to be a deep pour. I don't think it is. However, I'd rather work in layers anyway. So what I want to do is for the little tabletop, I'm just going to kind of set it there, let it do its own thing, whatever that is. This represents honey, so this is going to be my honey bear, oh boy, my honey bee pollinator thing. Okay, so spray that with a little bit of alcohol because it's probably going to get a lot of bubbles in there. And I'll spray the back of my tray one more time. And that'll be it for today, guys. I'll just be cleaning up my stuff, and all I do is spritz it down with some alcohol, give it a good wipe down, and it's ready for the next use. And that's all I've got for you for today, at least for the moment. I'm hoping I can unmold the tray for this evening. Take it back over here and show you that. I think that is really going to be pretty, everybody. I love it's still a little bit transparent. Ignore my little miniature ring light. But you can see it's not quite done, which is what I was hoping for. It's just a little bit less than what I needed. And that, I think, is really going to turn out pretty as well. So, until the unmolding, everybody, thank you for joining in. And I'll see you all here in a little bit this evening. Bye for now.